Well, we did a little modification to the old farm truck. Took off the purple steps because I'm all legs, about a 32-inch inseam legit. So I just step into a truck that high, so I don't want my kids. So anyway, threw some new dancing shoes, some new hiking boots on this bad boy. Got some fuel rims, a little fancier than I was expecting for this thing. I wanted to go stock. But I got a killer deal on these, and the stock ones I wanted to get. The offsets would be wrong because this is a pre-2006 model. It's a 1999, and 05 was the last year of this shared offset. I believe in this in 06 they changed. 05 or 06 they changed due to the not running the leaf back anymore, running the coilover type suspension. So your offset needs to come out further from the leaf. So this is exactly like it was. Well, not the same brand or same, color, everything else, but I had 35s on this when I originally owned this truck almost 20 years ago. And just like it did before, it rubs a tiny bit at full turn. You can't see on that side. The other side rubs a little bit more for whatever reason. Same thing it did, well, from day one. This is my old truck. But anyway, so yeah, you can kind of barely see right there. At full swing, it makes like a 1/16 of an inch of contact. It's enough to make sure you know you're doing it, but it is what it is. Same thing it did when I first bought it, and I just kind of worked around and never modified it. I just kind of ran it. But yeah, the rims and tires look awesome, I think. I mean, a little biased is my truck, and I think it looks cool. Comment in the comment section if you think they suck. But it's funny, this is like a Arroyo tire, so it's like, they always come up with a name similar to a name brand like Toyo tires. Instead it's Arroyo. So at afar, if you catch the O, you think, oh, the guy's running Toyos, but he's not. He's running Arroyos, made in Taiwan. But it's an E-rated tire, so it's the same 10-ply, same thing I'd be running if I ran a name brand, and got a killer deal on these things. So, but yeah, really like the truck. Forgot how much I missed having an 8-foot bed. So this is going to be the Home Depot hauler, the off-grid property builder. And I don't plan on getting rid of this thing. I flip cars a lot. I buy something and get the right price, and I don't just flip things like people do where I just grab something and sell it for more. I buy something at a crazy deal. I dump 2 or 3 grand making it badass, and then someone offers me more money than I can pass up, and I sell them. So I'm kind of like a car or automobile flipper or motorcycle flipper on accident sometimes. Some things I buy to sell. I buy RVs to flip a lot. I used to back when that was going good. And I just kind of laid back because I don't want to spend all that kind of money now. So, or sit on that kind of product right now. I got other things going on. But anyway, so this is a keeper. Sent her away and she came back. So we're gonna look for an 8-foot pop top camper for this thing too. Pop. So just a typical kind of camper. Palomino makes them. Jayco makes them. All kinds of companies. I won't buy a brand new one. I'll probably buy I'd love to buy like a 2005 pop top camper. But if I find a late 90s, 1998 to 2005, let's say 98 to 2005 model, could be corrugated, could be smooth. Smooth is obviously nicer looking, and you can polish them out. Corrugated, you can't really do much of the corrugation once it gets bad. I'm going to be my corrugated metal, so you can get a smooth fiberglass. They're a little heavier, but they look nicer, and you can shine them up real nice, put graphics on them. The metal is lighter, it's corrugated, and you got to paint it to make it look nice. You really can't shine them up once they get dull. I mean, I guess you can clay ball them, but you can't get much out of them. So anyway, the idea is to get a pop top camper for this thing for little trips for fun. I do camp on my own sometimes my kids don't want to go, so it'd be a fun little truck to go camping, or as people call it, overlanding. We may go with the flatbed down the road on this thing, but I do like having an 8-foot bed. I kind of want to flatbed my short bed on my dually, where I kind of like having this big deep 8-foot bed. Is just really nice to be able to haul things in there. So, but I think we're gonna go with a big Rancher bumper, like the diamond plate kind of ugly one, because I don't really care. This isn't a show truck. I mean, those rims look pretty showy, but black rims. And the reason the rims look a little showy to me because of the silver caps, the silver bolt pattern. Normally I would run black on black, because once you go silver bolt patterns, you never go back. But yeah, I think they look pretty nice. Like I said, they could be a little gaudy, but I thought once I got them on the truck, I was actually pretty happy with the look. Totally unnecessary, but totally cool. And I got the rims and tires together for cheaper than I could buy the tires. So it was almost like the rims just came for free. And if you know me, I'm all about those deals. So like I said, I'll run the Rancher bumper on here. I want to run 4 big old nasty round, probably 6-inch LED lights in the front. I'm going to put a black grill right here. I think black on white looks sick. Some fresh lights just that are bright, just standard. I won't go crazy in there. I'd rather get it from the auxiliary lights, but take that license plate thing off. We don't need that up here. So black Rancher bumper with a little cattle guard, just in case we hit anything. Black grill, probably mesh. I don't like the billet stuff. That's kind of old school. That's the old school truck, but I like the mesh like what I have on my dually. We have some tow mirrors for this thing. So some big old nasty, probably 2010 or so Ford that go right on here and come out. Big, huge mirrors. So it'd be nice because we will use it for towing. This is going to be used for our off-grid delivery. So when I'm delivering one of these off-grid, leave my dually for the, you know, quick and easy, or the, I guess the long and easy, but the long road. And then for all the off-road stuff, just use this. It's a Thrasher. I mean, it's on 35-inch tires. They're mudders. The 4x4 works great. The 7.3 diesel is just a total, just a beast. If no one's ever owned one, if you haven't owned one of those things, I mean, that's why people talk about them. They are a 1,000,000-mile motor. That's a little bit of a mythical tale. It's probably 50 grand to get that thing to 1,000,000 miles. So I've owned numerous 7.3s, and the performance is amazing. The tow ability is amazing. They're super fun motors. You can just create tons of power out of them. They're fun. They're effective. They're tractors, but they cost, you know, a ton of money to get them up to 1,000,000 miles. So anyone saying, oh, it's the legendary 1,000,000-mile motor, well, when they got 250,000 on it, well, yeah, I mean, you got another $20,000 to dump into that thing to get 1,000,000. So I hate to break the news, they don't do it on their own. Any diesel, like I said. So I would say my Dodge 6.7 is the most practical diesel I've ever owned. I use it a lot, so it does cost a lot of money maintenance. It hasn't cost money anything crazy because it's just a really good platform. That's the least expensive diesel I've owned yet is the 6.7. But even the 6.0, I mean, the 6.0 in my van, 229,000 original miles, and it runs like a champ. It didn't have a turbo rebuilt to 220. I think there's a new turbo on this one. I think my ex-father-in-law put a new turbo on this one. I think it's just stock rebuild. He's not into boosting things up. He's really old school. He was a semi-truck driver, and he knows a lot about performance, and he likes to keep his stuff a little more stock, so he's not like putting things through the roof as far as, you know, what their capabilities are, and testing them or stressing them or making them unreliable. So anyway, it looks like it has a fresh turbo on there. I don't know what miles it's at. It's at, the truck's at 326, I think, on there right now. 322, something like that. I mean, it runs so tight, it's unbelievable. And the motor looks just, I mean, it's clean. You could eat your dinner off the thing. It's unbelievable how clean it is. So, and the turbo looks really, really clean. And all the intakes on it look really clean. So I'm assuming he replaced those probably within that 220 to 300 range, somewhere in that ballpark, because that's usually when you end up rebuilding your turbo. But yeah, so this is the farm truck. I just thought I'd show you its new hiking boots. And we'll have this thing out in the main property here, hopefully the next couple weeks. It's going to the doctor's tomorrow, getting a new wheel bearing on this thing, some new gizmos and gadgets in the front end. It just needs new wheel bearings, or wheel bearing, and needs some tie rods, some ball joints. It's just a little sloppy. It's pretty old school. It's got a little lift on it, but it's an old school block lift in the back and like a tower lift on the front. So nothing fancy. This isn't a Carly suspension like my last big truck, but I mean, it does exactly what it needs to do. It's a freaking farm truck. It's awesome. So anyway, we'll be farm trucking out of this thing. We'll be doing off-grid deliveries out of this thing. Probably throw some graphics on this thing, make it look kind of cool, but still farm truck. And yeah, not too exciting, guys. Just kind of a little update. Put some dancing shoes, some hiking boots on the big boy.